I tell you the truth, before the rooster crows, you will disown me.
Not only is the set, does it look cool, but it actually talks to you too. So we really are in cassette futurism.
Portal located.
You need the wind in your hair though, hold on. Hey, what's up everyone? Thank you so much for joining this episode of the Godox production series. Today we're filming in this amazing virtual production studio. We're going to be using a giant LED volume and going to be using Godox lights to basically create a foreground world that's going to match what's happening on the big screen behind me. So let's do it. So we're here in Dallas, Texas. So if you're ever in the Dallas area and you're looking for an amazing virtual production studio, XR214 is the place to be. So come in here, check out our world. We've got the backgrounds, we've got the bike, and we've got the Godox lights doing some light mapping on what is happening on the LED screens. Sci-fi is something that I've always loved, I've always wanted to film, and now we have an opportunity to do it with this project called Cyber Cycle. It's a girl that's in a cassette futurism world way far in the future, and she is in love with the retro aesthetic and is playing an arcade game and actually gets pulled into the game and becomes part of the game that she is playing. So we're able to create these worlds that we will use the lighting and the light mapping to really help us create more of a realistic approach of combining these realms together, so to speak. Oh, do the shield. Yeah, more of that.
Let me give you some specs about the LED screen. We're working with 8 million pixels, 42 feet by 13 feet, 200 panels. This particular screen is at a 2.5 degree curve. In contrast to a flat screen, the curved one is going to eliminate glare and speculars from bouncing back into the lens. Let's talk about the importance of pixel pitch. Pixel pitch is the space between pixels. The closer your pixels are together, the better your image is going to look. The Goldilocks zone for pixel pitch is about 2.5, and that's what we got here at XR214.
We wanted to simplify the screen stuff as much as possible and only use a 2D image, so any of our background worlds are actually 2D, meaning we're not using Unreal Engine, and we don't have full camera control. The studio is capable of all of that, but we just wanted to simplify it and really focus on using some of the light mapping functionality of the Godox lights to really play with those and see if we can create a realistic world just basically using a 2D background.
Inherently, your subjects are going to be a little bit darker than what you see on the LED wall. The LED wall is emitting light, so to compensate that, you're going to need to crank the contrast up on the LED wall and find the right balance between, the subject and the background.
For this video, we've created a virtual world. We have a giant LED wall behind our set, and the most important thing when filming with a virtual wall is to create foreground. You need depth, you need layers. It really helps to make the world realistic. We have boom boxes, we have VHS cameras. I brought in a bunch of CRT monitors. Yeah, you're basically looking at my living room right now.
Like that looks good. Like when you're on this side over here, that's when it looks really nice.
Yeah, you're right. Cool. Being able to practically create holograms, bringing these CRT monitors to life, bringing an old arcade game to life. Practically, I mean, our talent crawls through the arcade game, like physically crawls through it. Hey, we got. Anytime I can save us time and money in post, I'm gonna do it practically.
So these are two of the lights that we're using for this particular scene. So we have a P600R and a P300R. These lights are really cool because they have RGB WW, so we're able to really fine tune exactly that shade of color that we're looking for to match the screen behind me. What's nice about these is that they have built-in CRMX, so we're able to use that and connect to the KNOWLED app. And so it's wireless DMX basically. So these lights can talk to the app, and then it gives complete control. You're doing any feature, any function, really dialing that light exactly how we need it. And see if you can time it just right. Perfect. Do one more, just for safety. So one thing that we're super excited about is being able to use the all-new Godox KNOWLED app. It's a free app, it's on the App Store. You can use it with an iPad or an Android tablet. And it is amazing because I'm able to see the shot within camera. I can directly communicate with Eric. Eric's basically on the app. We've got our entire lighting diagram, so like every light that is around the set, and then he can control the parameters within the app. So on the fly. So like literally I'm like, hey, I need a little bit more blue, I need some green, I need this effect, I need a little bit more intensity, whatever it is, he can easily just manipulate it and control it.
My favorite part about this app is that I can pick up my iPad and I can move anywhere in the space and truly interact with the space immediately and instantly. I can come and stand exactly where my talent's going to be, and I can start giving myself a different background. I can also look at different lights and immediately switch over and get different things going on at all times. All right, let's get a little more into the app. Right now we're in the light layout mode. This makes things so much easier for me on set. Everything is in position to the lights on set for me. So I can come up and touch, for instance, my P300R, and I can come and literally change everything that I need to, intensity, everything that needs to happen right away. Don't have to go to the light and actually touch it.
Eric is literally able to like pinpoint the color that you see on the wall and be able to mimic exactly that color tone. So that is a motivated light within our scene. So essentially all these lights within our environment are all motivated by what's happening on screen.
So I have two P300Rs on either side creating these different color pushes.
So we're doing a little movie magic over here. Since our cabinet actually has no screen or no electronics in it at all, what we're using is our TP4R to simulate the screen so we can get that natural glow effect from the cabinet back at her face.
And I was actually flickering it as we were going to give that look of her playing the video game. So I have 4 P600Rs, 2 using as a backlight and 2 doing the ambience of the cyan, filling that look from our screen all the way through our set.
And one thing that we did do over here is we actually flagged off the light from the wall because you don't want any light spilling onto your wall, otherwise it's going to wash out the screen.
We're using our C7R, which is our light bulbs, battery powered. And what's really great about these is that we like to place them around practically on set, and it really ties together with having the volume behind us, and bringing practical light sources on set just really starts helping blend in with your background. So down here what we have is one of our LightFlow 25s, and it's a M300 buy with one of our spotlight attachments that's creating a narrow beam that's hitting this, and it's creating a nice, awesome spread across our arcade machine. Initially, we were using a light to try to light this up, but it was too harsh, it was too directional, and it just looked a little too synthetic, and this looks a little more natural.
So we're here in our second world. It's the portal that she is basically diving into inside the arcade game. So we wanted to do something really cool. A lot of like vibrant colors, just a lot of spinning, a lot of camera shake to really sell that effect. So in combination with that, we also used a hazer with some fans to really make the wind and the hair go everywhere, and just kind of it kept pinging the lens with like a little bit of a flare, like we have a flashlight hitting it, just to kind of give it more of that foreground illusion of there's multiple dimensions happening all at once.
So this is the real fun part about this app, is the light mapping. I basically dragged in each and every single one of the lights in here, put it onto a point, and it's tracking that point and changing the colors and the brightness to that, which makes it so cool, so quick, so easy. Each one of these boxes are a light, and I can move it, place it, and in that box, it's tracking, taking the color and brightness and putting it to our lights.
And also with these Godox lights, we do have like the 600 right here. It's in a rainbow mode. So basically we're using the pixels, the internal pixels of the light itself. So it's able to replicate all of this right here, but actually be projected in the light itself, which is awesome, especially for something like this. So if you're ever filming a portal, you're good to go. We're here in the motorcycle scene, so what we wanted to do was a variety of motorcycle plates. So we brought in an actual bike, and we had Shay, our talent, ride the bike. And what we did is we shook the camera to make it look a little bit more realistic, and we dollied in with the camera and everything, and just tried to sell it the best that we could. We added things like atmosphere. We had a fog machine just to kick up some extra atmosphere. We had Wally with a flashlight. He was pinging in the lens, trying to get some flares just to try to give it a little bit more dimension within our shot. And then we had Eric on the KNOWLED app, and he was light mapping the backgrounds, and that was changing all the lights around what we were doing. So,
and I was using live mode, so I was actually dragging and dropping at times and figuring out exactly where we wanted each light to be to read. Well, we changed scenes, and I just changed where my lights were reading, so it picked up that color immediately and that intensity, and then we were off to the races almost immediately.
Located.
all right, so if you were shooting a scene on an LED volume, what would your dream scene be? What kind of lighting effects would you use? Tell us how you would pull it off in the comments below for your chance to win some really cool Godox gear. All right, woo! Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the Godox production series. We'll see you next time. Until then, happy filmmaking.